Let me ask you something you probably haven't heard from your doctor. How strong is your immune system really? Not how many pills you take, not how many vitamins sit on your shelf, but how often you bounce back, how fast you recover, and how deeply you feel protected from the inside out. Because here's the quiet truth. After 50, your immune system changes. Not because you've done something wrong, but because life has been long. Your body has fought many battles, big and small. Colds, flus, stress, pollution, late nights, chronic inflammation, even loneliness. It all adds up. And one day you realize you don't bounce back like you used to. A common cold takes 2 weeks instead of 3 days. A simple night of poor sleep turns into a full week of fog. And sometimes, you're tired without knowing why. But here's the good news. Your body hasn't forgotten how to protect you. It's just been overwhelmed. And what it needs now isn't more pressure, it needs support. And not synthetic support, not a pharmacy full of quick fixes, but something older, something wiser, something alive. Today I want to introduce you to 3 plants that have helped people restore immune strength for generations. Reishi Mushroom, known as Ngoc Linh Chi, the queen of immune modulators. Vietnamese Ginseng Sam Ngoc Linh, one of the most powerful adaptogens on earth. Kinjoy, the herb your grandmother used to brew whenever the weather changed. Alone they are powerful. Together they are a shield. Not a wall, but a living defense system, one that works with your body, not against it. In this video, I'll show you how these 3 herbs support immunity from the inside out, how they calm inflammation, fight fatigue, and restore internal resilience, how to prepare them safely and effectively at home, and what real people over 50 like you and me have experienced by using them consistently. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about strengthening your foundation, so that when life throws something your way, illness, stress, fatigue, you're not broken by it. You're ready. Before we dive in, do me a favor. If you believe in natural healing, if you're tired of over-medication and want to return to wisdom that stood the test of time, click subscribe. And if this message touches something in you, share it, because true healing never happens alone. Now, let's begin with the guardian of inner balance, Reishi Mushroom. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, while recovering from a long winter flu, I was introduced to a curious little mushroom reishi. It didn't look like much, dark red, woody, almost like lacquered bark. No smell, no taste. But what it did to my body, well, that changed how I understood immunity forever. Because while most herbs fight, reishi teaches. Reishi isn't just a mushroom, it's a modulator. You see, the beauty of reishi, or Ngoc Linh Chi in Vietnamese, is not that it cranks your immune system into overdrive like a stimulant. Instead, it helps your body regulate itself. It's what scientists call an immunomodulator. If your immune system is weak, reishi gently strengthens it. If it's overactive, like in autoimmune or chronic inflammation, reishi calms it down. It's not a hammer. It's a conductor. It helps your body remember how to balance its own orchestra. And that's especially important after 50, when the immune system doesn't respond as quickly and sometimes responds the wrong way, causing inflammation instead of protection. What makes reishi so powerful inside this mushroom are compounds that sound complicated but work simply. Polysaccharides strengthen white blood cell activity and natural killer cell function. Triterpenes, powerful anti-inflammatory agents that calm overactive immune responses. Beta-glucans support gut immunity and regulate sugar metabolism. Antioxidants protect liver cells and slow cellular aging. What does that mean for you? Fewer sick days, faster recovery when you do get sick, reduced joint pain and inflammation, healthier liver function, which means better detoxification, and something even deeper, a sense of internal calm. Reishi and the liver, the forgotten link. Here's something most people don't realize. Your liver is one of your most important immune organs. It filters your blood, breaks down toxins, and produces key immune proteins. But if it's overworked by medications, alcohol, sugar, or stress, it becomes sluggish. Reishi has been shown to regenerate liver cells, lower ALT and AST levels, markers of liver inflammation, and support phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. So if you often feel tired, bloated, foggy-headed, or your skin reacts easily, reishi may be the ally your liver has been waiting for. What it feels like to use reishi. This isn't a flashy herb. You won't feel a kick like coffee. But over time, especially after 10-14 days of daily use, you may notice deeper sleep, clearer skin, fewer respiratory symptoms during weather changes, improved stamina, and a subtle but powerful sense of emotional grounding. I like to call it quiet vitality. You're not bouncing off the walls, but you're no longer dragging through the day either. How I use it for those new to reishi, here's how I recommend starting. Use dried sliced reishi or high-quality reishi extract powder. Add 5-7 grams to 3 cups of water. Simmer gently for 30-40 minutes. Strain and sip throughout the day. You can combine with ginger or licorice root for better flavor and synergy. If using powder, add 1/4 teaspoon to hot water or herbal tea once or twice daily. Reishi isn't a trend, it's a tradition. And for men and women in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond, it can become part of a rhythm that restores what stress and time have taken away. In the next part, we'll meet another legend, Sam Ngoc Linh, the rare Vietnamese ginseng that strengthens endurance, battles stress, and revives the will to thrive. But first, let this sink in. You don't need to fight harder. You need to teach your body to protect you smarter. And reishi is a wise teacher. Let me tell you something most people get wrong about aging. They think fatigue is inevitable, that stress is just part of life, that mental fog, weak muscles, and a shrinking sense of joy are simply the cost of getting older. But I don't believe that. Not because I'm in denial, but because I felt the difference when the right herbs meet the right moment in a man's life. And one of those herbs might just be the rarest, most powerful root I've ever tried. Its name, Sam Ngoc Linh, Vietnamese Ginseng, the hidden gem of the mountains. Grown high in the misty forests of central Vietnam, Sam Ngoc Linh is not just another ginseng. It's often called Vietnam's national treasure, and for good reason. Compared to Korean and American ginseng, Sam Ngoc Linh contains more types of ginsenosides, active compounds that affect everything from energy metabolism to immunity, brain function, and hormone balance. But what sets it apart isn't just its chemistry, it's the feeling it brings. What Sam Ngoc Linh does for the body. It restores stamina in people who are physically or emotionally exhausted. It improves resilience in those dealing with long-term illness or chronic fatigue. It supports adrenal function, helping the body regulate stress hormones like cortisol. It enhances mental clarity and emotional calm, especially in older adults experiencing burnout or brain fog. It stimulates natural cell repair, working as a true adaptogen, helping your body adapt to whatever life throws at you. One study from Vietnam found that patients taking Sam Ngoc Linh reported less stress and anxiety after just 2 weeks, improved appetite and sleep, and better physical endurance during activity even without exercise. Now that's what I call functional healing. The stress reset root for men over 50. Here's why Sam Ngoc Linh matters so much as we age. As we get older, our nervous system becomes less flexible. Our ability to handle stress, physical, emotional, or environmental diminishes. What used to be just a tough week can now knock us off our rhythm for a month. Sam Ngoc Linh gives that resilience back. It doesn't numb stress. It teaches the body how to bounce back from it. It doesn't give fake energy. It restores natural vitality. And for men over 50 who feel like their body is dragging behind their willpower, this root is a revelation. How I take it, because it's rare and potent, I use Sam Ngoc Linh with intention, not indulgence. I use liquid extract or dried root powder, high quality only. Start with 100-200 milligrams per day or a small pinch of powder in warm water. Best taken in the morning with or after breakfast. Some people brew it with reishi in a tea, smooth, earthy, no bitterness. Important. This is not caffeine. You may not feel it in the same way, but give it 7-10 days, and you may begin to notice a deeper sleep, a clearer mind, a steadier breath, a quiet strength you thought had slipped away for good. Why I keep using it? Because I'm not looking to fight my age. I'm looking to live in it fully, intentionally, and with joy. And when I add Sam Ngoc Linh to my routine, I feel like I'm not just surviving the years, I'm showing up for them. In the next part, we'll explore the final piece of the trio, Kinjoy, a humble herb with surprisingly powerful effects on the respiratory system, inflammation, and immune defense. But for now, let me leave you with this. Vitality isn't loud. Sometimes it sounds like deep sleep, feels like steady energy, and shows up as peace in your own skin. That's what Sam Ngoc Linh offers. Let me ask you something most men over 50 never think about until it's too late. When was the last time you supported your lungs, not just your heart or your digestion, but your lungs? We breathe 20,000 times a day, but rarely do we give any thought to the system that defends us from the very air we inhale. And yet this system, the respiratory system, is the front line of your immune defense. It's where viruses enter, where allergens irritate, where cold air pollution and even stress can trigger inflammation, congestion, and infection. And this is exactly where the third herb in our powerful trio shines. It's not exotic, it's not rare, but it is deeply effective. Its name is Kinjoy, known in the West as Elscholzia, or sometimes Vietnamese Balm. What is Kinjoy? Kinjoy is a leafy herb from the mint family long used in Vietnamese traditional medicine as a remedy for fevers, common colds, sore throats, sinus congestion, skin eruptions due to heat inside the body. But modern science now tells us why it works so well. Kinjoy contains flavonoids, essential oils, and rosmarinic acid compounds that reduce inflammation in the respiratory tract, fight viral and bacterial activity, support mucosal immunity, the immune defense in your nose, throat, and lungs, and help modulate cytokine response, preventing overreaction during infections. That's a fancy way of saying Kinjoy helps your body fight infections without setting itself on fire in the process. Why it matters. After 50. As we age, our respiratory system becomes more vulnerable. We recover slower from colds and flus. Allergies hit harder, and even mild inflammation in the sinuses or lungs can trigger fatigue, headaches, and poor sleep. Kinjoy soothes the airways, clears phlegm, eases breathing, reduces that tight chest feeling that often comes with age or humidity, and keeps your immune system's first responders ready and balanced. In fact, many traditional healers consider Kinjoy a sweating herb used to open the pores, release internal heat, and drive out early-stage illness before it takes root. How I use it in my routine. I add Kinjoy leaves dried or fresh to my reishi, plus Ngoc Linh tea especially. In cold seasons, after traveling, or anytime I feel a bit off in my head or chest. To brew, use 1 tablespoon dried leaf or a small handful fresh. Steep in hot water for 10-15 minutes. Drink warm, especially in the morning or early evening. You can also add it to soups, broths, or congee for a healing meal that nourishes lungs and digestion together. And let me tell you, the effect is subtle but swift. Clearer breath, lighter head, less tension behind the eyes, and in my case, fewer seasonal colds altogether. What makes this herb so special? Because it's the first line of defense. It meets the world before the rest of your body does, and it teaches your system how to respond without overreacting, how to protect without panicking, how to fight without destroying yourself. And isn't that what wisdom is? Knowing how to stand strong without losing your center? In the next part, we'll put all three together, Reishi, Ngoc Linh, and Kinjoy, and explore how their combined power doesn't just protect you, it rebuilds you, from breath to blood, from cells to soul. But before we go there, pause and reflect. Are you giving your body the right tools to fight gently, wisely, and early before illness takes hold? Kinjoy may be the answer you didn't know you were missing. Let me tell you a truth from both ancient tradition and modern science. No herb works in isolation. Like the systems in your body, immune, nervous, circulatory, they're meant to work together. And when you choose the right combination, the result isn't just addition, it's multiplication. That's exactly what happens when you blend. Reishi, the immune whisperer. Ngoc Linh, the deep energy restorer. Kinjoy, the frontline defender for your respiratory system. Together they form a 360-degree circle of support, calming, energizing, protecting. This isn't a shot of energy, it's a strategy for resilience. Let's break it down. Why this trio works so well together. Reishi regulates your immune response, reduces chronic inflammation, and supports liver detoxification. Ngoc Linh helps the body recover from physical and emotional fatigue, boosts stamina, and balances stress hormones. Kinjoy clears heat from the surface, supports respiratory immunity, and prevents seasonal illnesses from taking hold. So while one herb goes deep to restore, another stands at the gate to defend, and the third keeps the whole system balanced. It's the perfect trifecta: root plus flow plus shield. How to prepare the blend. My daily routine ingredients: 1-2 servings. 5-7 dried reishi slices. 150-200 milligrams. Ngoc Linh powder or 2. 3 thin slices if root. 1 TBSP dried Kinjoy leaves or a handful of fresh ones. 3-4 cups filtered water. Instructions. In a small pot, add the reishi slices and Ngoc Linh to cold water. Bring to a light simmer, not a boil, and cook for 30 minutes. Remove from heat. Add Kinjoy leaves and cover for 10-15 minutes. Strain and drink warm throughout the day. You can divide it into 2 servings. 1 in the morning to support energy and stress adaptation, and 1 in the early evening to calm and rebuild before sleep. When to drink at best times. First thing in the morning on an empty stomach or after light food. Mid-afternoon, especially if you're feeling sluggish, tense, or emotionally drained. Avoid drinking late at night, as Sam Ngoc Linh may be gently stimulating. How long before you feel the effects? This is slow medicine, not fast caffeine, but it's also lasting medicine. Day 3-5. You may begin to notice more stable energy, better digestion, and clearer breathing. Week 2. Sleep improves, mood stabilizes, focus sharpens. Week 4+. You feel stronger, more resistant to seasonal illness, and more centered in your body. Some describe it as feeling reset from the inside out. Tips for success. Stay hydrated. These herbs help cleanse, and water supports that process. Eat clean, support the herbs with real whole foods. Be consistent. Make it a ritual, not a reaction. Use high-quality herbs. Poor quality equals poor results. The most important thing, respect the process. This tonic is not meant to fix you. It's meant to remind your body how to thrive. And once that wisdom returns, so will your strength, so will your clarity, so will your natural defense. In the next part, we'll hear real experiences, what older adults noticed when they committed to this blend, and the most common mistakes to avoid along the way. But for now, pause and ask yourself, what would your life look like if your immune system worked with you, not against you? That answer may begin with 1 cup today. Now that you know how to prepare and use this powerful herbal blend, let's bring it down to where it really matters, real life. Because theory is one thing, but transformation, that happens in the quiet moments, cup by cup, choice by choice. Over the years, I've shared this formula with many friends and clients, men and women in their 50s, 60s, even 70s, some facing long-term fatigue, others just looking for something more reliable than pills. And their stories, well, they're worth sharing. What people are saying after 4 weeks of use. Evelyn, 66, retired teacher. I didn't expect much, just hoped to feel a little more alive. But after 2 weeks, I noticed I wasn't getting my usual sinus flare-up from the pollen. And my energy, especially in the mornings, was steady. Not hyper, just steady. Michael, 59, former military. I've been on blood pressure meds for years, always tired. But after taking this blend for 3 weeks, I stopped falling asleep in the middle of the afternoon. I breathe easier too. My wife says I snore less. Linda, 71, breast cancer survivor. What I love is the sense of calm. I don't feel like I'm fighting my body anymore. I feel like I'm working with it. And my digestion's so much better, less bloating, more regular. They didn't experience fireworks. They experienced reconnection. And sometimes that's more powerful than any drug. But let's be honest. Not everyone sees results right away. And in many cases, it's because of a few simple mistakes. Let's go over them. Common mistakes to avoid. 1. Expecting instant energy. This is not caffeine. This is cellular resilience. It builds quietly day by day. If you're expecting a jolt, you'll be disappointed. Truth. The deeper the fatigue, the longer it may take, but the effects last. 2. Using low-quality or contaminated herbs. Unfortunately, many herbal products on the market are poorly processed or even fake. What to do? Use trusted suppliers. Look for organically grown, lab-tested Reishi and Sam Ngoc Linh. Always wash fresh Kinjoy if harvesting at home. 3. Taking too much too soon. Some people double or triple the dosage thinking it'll work faster. No, this formula is gentle and potent. More isn't better. It can overwhelm your liver or lead to mild reactions like restlessness or loose stools. Start slow, stay consistent. 4. Neglecting lifestyle habits. Herbs are support, not magic. If you're still eating processed food, not sleeping well, or carrying unprocessed stress, no tonic in the world can fully override that. Pair this formula with real food. 7. 8 hours of sleep. Regular mindful movement. Emotional honesty. 5. Giving up too early. Some people stop after 5 days. Didn't feel anything, they say. But remember, you didn't lose your balance overnight. You won't rebuild it overnight either. Give it 3-4 weeks. Observe, adjust, trust the rhythm. So, what can you expect if you get it right? Steadier mornings, fewer seasonal illnesses, calmer digestion, clearer breathing, stronger recovery from stress, and most importantly, a quiet sense of wholeness returning. Not youth, not performance, but resilience. The kind that lets you show up fully for yourself, for your partner, for your life. In the final part of this series, we'll tie it all together, summarizing the journey, and leaving you with one final question worth carrying into tomorrow. But for now, pause and reflect. Have you given your body what it actually needs to protect and restore you gently, patiently, and naturally? If not, this is your moment, not to try harder, but to begin softer. Let's take a moment to pause. We've walked through three of nature's most powerful gifts. Reishi Mushroom, the quiet teacher of your immune system. Sam and Ngoc Linh, the deep well of strength hidden beneath fatigue. Kinjoy, the overlooked warrior guarding your breath and your boundaries. Together, they don't just boost your immunity. They invite you into a deeper partnership with your own body. Not a fight, not a battle, but a reunion. Because if you're anything like me, you've spent years caring for everyone else. You've shown up for work, family, duty. But somewhere along the way, you stopped showing up fully. For yourself. This isn't about perfection. It's not about chasing youth. It's about building a new kind of strength, one that doesn't shout but sustains, that doesn't collapse under pressure but recovers with grace. And if you've made it this far, it means one thing. You're ready, not just to learn but to live differently, to take that next small step, one cup at a time, one breath at a time, one commitment to your well-being every single morning. So what now? Here's what I'd like you to do. 1. Try the tonic, even just for 7 days, with presence, without pressure. See what shifts. 2. Share your experience. Tell us in the comments, how do you feel? What surprised you? 3. Subscribe. Because this isn't the end, it's a beginning. And each week we'll walk this road together with more stories, more wisdom, more healing. And finally, 4. Ask yourself this one question. If I treated my health like something sacred, how would I show up for it today? Let that question guide you not just now, but every day forward. You're not alone. You're not too late. You're not broken. You're just becoming again. Stronger, softer, wiser. And I'll be right here waiting in the next video, ready to walk the next few steps with you. Until then, be well, be kind to your body, and never stop becoming the version of you that still has so much to give. I'll see you soon.